What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is SaintKthulhu, and I know it has been a while, but I am back, and I have a little bit of news. I want to have a little discussion. So recently I was scouring through Twitter, and I saw that Asmongold had riled some people up. Now, if you don't know who Asmongold, he's a streamer, used to do video games. Recently he's become a political streamer, I guess, but he's not really a political streamer, but he super heavily backs MAGA, even though he never voted for Donald Trump. It's a weird situation. But recently, after the whole ICE raids in Minneapolis and the Alex Preddy situation, RIP Alex Preddy, he kind of took a little bit of a flip-floppy stance. He's calling them the Gestapo. He's saying that they're going unchecked and this isn't right and yada yada yada. So a lot of people are kind of angry that he's switching up his stance. Now, I find it just a little bit comical that when the same people are going around harassing minorities, harassing people that don't look like you, it's no problem. It's A1, no issue here. But the moment people that look like you are starting to die is now the moment where we start to call them for what they are. And it got me thinking, at what point in time did we start taking streamers' opinions seriously? At what point in time did we start taking the opinion of a 30-something-year-old man who has roaches in his house, barely bathes, and wipes his gum blood on the walls because he just can't be bothered to brush his teeth as a law? It makes absolute no sense to me. Now, I'm not saying that just because you're not, a major in political science or anything of the sort, then you don't have an opinion. No, that's not how that works, You're an American citizen, you're free to have your rights and your opinions. But when did we start taking their opinion serious? Are you really going to sit there, watch the stream of a person who can't even take care of their basic hygiene, and then hear their talking points and go around parroting them? I don't think that's a smart thing to do. And the wild thing is the fact that he knows he has such an influence over all these impressionable youths, yet he still chooses to spew all of the nonsense that he does. And here's my thing. I don't want to throw out buzzwords or accusatory words, because I know that just devolves into a whole bunch of shenanigans that just moves the conversation forward to nowhere. So I'm not going to say anything about him directly, but I am going to say that when you have that big of a following and you casually spew hatred non-stop every stream just because you want to, just because you know it's gonna bring in money, at that point you kind of have to think to yourself, is the money worth the damage that I am causing? It's in the same domain of how you can be a drug dealer. Oh, you balled up, you got a Rolex, you out here with a gold chain, you out here dripped out. But what are you doing to your community? What are you doing to your people? Now, obviously it's hyperbole, it's not to that extent, but it kind of is, because the rhetoric that he spews is immediately damaging the youth. Immediately. The moment that he starts speaking whatever he speaks, the followers that he has have a minimal amount of critical thinking, so they just take his word as law. And when you have somebody that just sits there and says things like, oh yeah, we should round them up and just throw them out, it's not a good look. It's not a good thing for us, because in the end, those people take that rhetoric and they move it forward. And maybe you don't fully believe in what you say to the 100% extent. Somebody that you are preaching to is gonna hear it and they're gonna one-up you, and that person's gonna one-up that person, and then eventually you have a bunch of radical people that are willing to do God knows what just because their favorite streamer put them on that path. Now, I haven't liked Asmongold as far as I can remember. Just his personality and the way he speaks just really irk and irritate me, but I'm gonna leave that to the side. This is just, I'm trying to be as unbiased about this judgment as I can be. In the words of the wise Kendrick Lamar, how much does a dollar cost? At the end of the day, can you maybe 20, 30, 40 years down the line be able to look back at the harm that you've done and be okay with yourself? If you can, that's your moral judgment. But I genuinely don't think any amount of money is worth harming an entire generation. And with that being said, I preface this to said generation, and honestly, there's some older people that could probably benefit from this too. If you have a favorite streamer, you have a favorite rapper, content creator, whatever, somebody that you kind of look up to, okay? Do not just take their word blindly, because at the end of the day, whatever they spew is probably not going to affect their lives nearly as much as it's going to affect your life. Plus, let's be honest, a lot of these streamers are college dropouts that didn't make it in an educational field and managed to make it somewhere else in life. No shade to them, but that does not give you the right to just sit there and then damage generation after generation with you just spewing nonsense. So please, for the love of all that is holy, think for yourself. Take some time. Anytime you hear something from a streamer or somebody that you look up to and it just doesn't seem right, take a little bit of time to reflect. Really sit there and do your own research and then come to your own conclusion, because these people are not going to help you when you're down. Now, with that being said, I want to get to something a little bit more brighter, a little bit happier. So I'm back. I'm finally making content again. It's been a while. I'm trying to get back into the whole gist of it. It's going to be a little bit of a rough journey readjusting, but I'm going to do it, and this time I would like to do it seriously. So if you like what you see, you like what you heard, go ahead, drop a like, go ahead, subscribe. I would appreciate it, and I will catch y'all in the next one.